Hello, it is Wednesday. What day is that? September 16th, 2020, 11 a.m. And I am doing my weekly Facebook Live video. And hopefully some people will join me on here, but if not, that's okay. I know sometimes people like to watch these later. So I will give you the information I'm going to give you anyway. I'm Jorjana Marx. I am one of the attorneys at Oklahoma Senior Law. We are an elder law firm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There are 3 attorneys. There is myself, Jorjana, Blaine Frizzell, and Todd Watley. And we do estate planning and Medicaid planning, VA benefits planning for seniors in Oklahoma. We're located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we are still taking appointments with families. Some of them we do on the telephone, and some of them we do by video. Some of them we can do in person because we have a conference room with enough room to keep people distanced and get air moving in and out. So we're very conscious of meeting in person during a pandemic. And so if you have questions about things that you already need help with, then give us a call. The phone number is 918-901-7777. And today I'm going to talk about generally, what do I need to think about as a senior? Or what do I need to help mom and dad plan for? What do they need to think about? I got this question earlier or later last week. Someone asking me just, what do I need to do? I'm a senior. What do I need to think about? I've already done a little bit of planning. What do we need to do? We just don't even know. We know there's something. We just don't know what it is. So let me really break it down into just 3 things, right? 3 easy things. The first one is you should think about what your plan for the future is. Most people plan to live at home for the rest of their lives. Their homes are paid off. They've lived there 30 years, 40 years, and that's where they want to stay. And that is fine. Some people can do that and it works out great, and that's wonderful. They have family that can help. Maybe they have a little bit of outside help, and that's wonderful. Statistically, 70% of seniors will spend time in a skilled rehab or skilled nursing long-term care facility. So 70% of people will spend time in one of those places. So, you need to think about what that might look like for you. If you are planning to stay home, let's talk about what that looks like. When you stay home and you need a little bit of extra help, as seniors often do as they get older, then you have some options for staying at home and getting help. You could have home health come in and they could give you that help. And they charge you for that. It's not free, unfortunately. And so you do have to pay for that. It runs, about $20, $25 an hour. And so plan on that if that's something you might need. Oftentimes we see people who need, 12 hours of help a day. So 12 hours times $25 an hour, which is kind of average, is $300 a day. And if that is your plan, that's fine. $300 a day, every day of the week, ends up being $2,100 a week. And then if you plan on doing that for a month, that's about $8,800. So if that's your plan, and you've got the funds for that, then that's great. A lot of people, that's the money's there, and that's what it's good for. There is nothing wrong with spending money on your own care. Some people plan on having their family help them. Also, totally valid plan. When you have family nearby, when you have family that can do that, that is a fantastic plan. And I have definitely had clients, and that's what they're doing. So that works out great. Some people, they know, well, we're fine at home now, but I think that when my husband needs additional help, I'm not going to be able to do it. And we don't have the funds, for $300 a day for home health to come in. Our kids don't live nearby. Maybe a nursing home is your option. So that's fine too. In a previous video last week, I think, I talked about what it costs for long-term care in Oklahoma, and in the Tulsa area, it's a little bit above $6,000 a month. For the state of Oklahoma, the average is $5,400 a month as determined by Oklahoma DHS and the Healthcare Authority. And so just know, make it part of your plan. Home health will cost this much. Family will cost, nothing hopefully, but you never know. There are situations that we might want to pay a family member to help you, or, maybe a nursing home is the option. And, most people are going to need help in some way. Just let that sit for a second. Most people need help. So let's talk about, let's think about and talk about what sort of help you're comfortable with, where you want to get it, and how you want to pay for it if you have to. Some people think, I don't want to go to a nursing home. My grandmother was in a nursing home in 1970, and, it was this. She was at a place that I hated. And so maybe think about what things are like now, because I have been to many facilities that are considered nursing homes. They're long-term care. And some of them are really fantastic. They are really nice, and people are really happy there, and they have really good employees. And there's all sorts of factors that really factor into a nursing home too. So it's not just like, oh, the facility isn't pretty, right? Some people are really happy in a place that isn't maybe, a fancy hotel, because they really love the people there. They really love the people, like the employees. They really love the people that are around. They like the activities. They, like the little add-on things, the haircuts, the beauty salon. They love the food. They like the schedule. I mean, there are all sorts of factors to factor in. So don't just think, I'd never do that because it was gross. They're not all like that. Some of them are very nice. So if you're asking me, what should I think about? I want you to first think about what your future plan is, because really that also helps us decide some other decisions along the line to support you in that plan. Whatever your plan is fine. But, there are things that we should do. So, another option that we are, the three of us attorneys are all VA accredited attorneys. And so we have done extensive training and have experience in helping qualified veterans get a improved pension that will help pay for long-term care. It is called aid and attendance. And there is, some significant analysis that goes into that. There's some qualifications that a person has to meet, but that will sometimes be available for not just the veteran, but also for his spouse or dependents. So, if you are a veteran, or maybe your mom or dad is, maybe that's something we want to talk about too, because that doesn't require that you live in a nursing home in order to receive that benefit. So factor that into your plan too for the future. Is the VA benefit going to be something for you? Okay, so we're going to think about your future. We're going to think about if you need help, where you're going to get it, what it's going to look like, how you're going to pay for it. Now, people also ask me, what about probate? What about wills? What about power of attorney? What do I need for that? So let's break that down into the two other pieces, which is one, thinking about yourself and your help, and then two, thinking about your stuff, right? Your money, your land, your cars, your jewelry, your favorite paintings, whatever those things are. And let's go to, let's start with yourself and how you're going to get help. So what that would require is a power of attorney usually. Power of attorney, it's a legal document that allows someone to help you manage your affairs, either financial or health, when you're unable to. And I did a lengthier video on that previously, but power of attorney is a crucial document to have as a senior. We recommend it for everyone. It is important because as you get older, you often need that extra help. And we're not talking about someone coming in and helping you with your medications and cooking food. We're talking about making financial decisions, moving money around, depositing checks, taking money out to pay, dealing with debt, life insurance, all of these things. Those are separate from just the decision on, home health, which is really taking care of your health. This is all those big legal things that you need help with. And sometimes people need just a little bit of help. Sometimes they're just tired of doing it. Like, I don't want to manage. I had a client say, I'm just tired of managing all of these life insurance policies and all my various accounts. I just need help. I'm ready for the kids to help me with that. Perfectly valid. And that is a great decision. Let us help you let us help the kids help you. So power of attorney is a way to do that. There are different kinds of power of attorney. I did a video on this previously too, but there is an immediate power of attorney and there is a springing power of attorney. So you can have a document that gives the power to, let's say, your kids immediately, or maybe you're not ready yet. Maybe you want it to only take effect when you are completely incapacitated. And so we can create the document that way. Keep that in mind. Also, sometimes we create a document and they say, well, I'm pretty comfortable with my kids doing this now, but I'm not going to give it to them yet. I'm not going to tell them yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep it at home and I'm going to wait. And then I'll give it to them, when I feel ready. So, that's another option too. We, as elder law attorneys, we do estate planning for our seniors. And that means that we help with this. We help with power of attorney. And we help you make decisions for your property and for your life as a senior, and with the focus on that. We're not just focused on what's going to happen to your things when you pass away. We're also focused on how you want to live as a senior. And so this power of attorney will get you the help you need. And we also do some additional documents when we do our powers of attorney. So we do a power of attorney for finances. We do a power of attorney for healthcare. We also do a HIPAA waiver that allows you to name the specific people you want to get your medical information. And then we do an advance directive for healthcare. That is a living will. And I have had people say, well, no, I don't know that I want that, or I'm not ready for that. I'm not sure. They wanted me to sign a DNR, so I signed that, but I'm not sure about this. Well, there's a difference. And I should probably do a whole video just on the differences in these documents. But an advance directive for healthcare is really for any person, any age, to say, this is what I want if I am persistently unconscious, if I have a terminal condition, and if or if I am in the end stage of my condition. And I think of this as, and it says you do not want life-sustaining treatments. So I think of this as, I am dying, let me die. I do not want artificial hydration or nutrition. I don't want you to keep me alive as I am dying. And that's a valid choice for anyone of any age, right? Now, a DNR is a do not resuscitate. And that is typically for someone who is already very ill, someone who is in frail health, and it allows the medical technicians to not resuscitate you. If you have stopped breathing, if your heart has stopped, you are telling them you do not want them to bring you back. Do not try to make me breathe again. Do not make my heart beat again. So you can see how this is different. One, the advance directive, the living will says, just let me die as I'm dying, whether that, takes 2 weeks or 6 weeks. And the other is something has stopped. You have stopped breathing. Your heart has stopped and you don't want them to bring you back. That was it. Your body says it's over. So there's a big difference. And we do not typically do a DNR. We are estate planners. We're elder law attorneys. We help people, deal with living as a senior. And so in like our lane of practice, we don't deal with the DNR side of things, but we are happy to facilitate signing the advance directive, because typically people who are doing that are not ill. They're just saying, if I become ill in these ways, then this is what I want to happen. So for DNR, usually you're going to talk to your physician, and there's specific situations for that. And typically it is not for us as elder law attorneys doing our estate planning, helping with long-term care transition. That's typically not in our lane. That's kind of how I describe it. So these documents, though, I've said before, these documents are so crucial to have. Your power of attorney for finances, for healthcare, a HIPAA waiver, your advance directive. These are your power documents. And I think actually, and this is my opinion, of course, that the documents that help you live are more important than documents that deal with your stuff. I mean, we're talking about your life, we're talking about your body, and you want complete control over that, right? Well, making the decision to give someone the ability to help you actually provides more independence, in my opinion. You've already made the decision of who you want to help. You've told them how you want them to help. We've specifically put it in the documents. I mean, that helps you live your best life. That's what the people say. Living your best life. So I think these documents are crucial. So finally, the third thing I want someone to think about. First, I want you to think about what your future plans are, where you want to live, who can help you, and how you're going to pay for it. We can help you talk through those. Then we're going to talk about getting you the documents you need to allow someone to help you. That's the power of attorney. We do a package of things, but also your advance directive. And then there is the thinking on your stuff. And this is where the talks of probate, people have kind of heard the word. I don't know what probate means. Do I need a will? Do I need a trust? Do I need a probate? You know, they sort of get it all mixed together. So probate is a court proceeding, and you either have a will, so you are a testate, or you are intestate. A will is something someone has prepared that is, as Todd says, I like to borrow this, a will is a roadmap for the court on how to distribute your stuff. So people have options. You can create a will that's going to be your roadmap for your heirs, devisees, legatees, to go to court to get your things. If you don't do a will and you have things, you still may need to go to court. There's just no roadmap. So in that case, the court looks to the statutes to see the laws, to see where your stuff is supposed to go. Lots of people like to have a will because they like to decide themselves where their stuff is going to go and not just leave it to the laws to say where their things will end up. So this might be your house, this might be your car, it might be your $25,000 sitting in the bank. People like to decide. They don't like to leave it to law. So that's why they prepare a will. So a will is a roadmap for the court for probate. Now, some people come in and say, I don't know, do I need a trust? I don't know. A will, a trust, do I need both? I don't know how it works. So a trust is a way of holding your property. Typically, people like to have a revocable living trust. And that, someone's knocking on our door here. And that allows them to put things in an entity, but still manage them themselves. So it is a great estate planning tool. And the benefit of it is, let's contrast it with the probate. A trust is going to become irrevocable on your death. This is a revocable trust. It will become irrevocable on your death and available to distribute to whomever you have put in your trust. So the benefits. You can, with a trust, there's no probate. You do not have to go to court once you have passed away. Your trustee can distribute things immediately. So that's amazing. However, you do have to pay for a trust up front. So sometimes people decide, well, I don't really want to pay for that right now. Things are clicking along okay. So what's my other option? Well, you can do a will. A will requires probate, which means you have to get an attorney, and then you're going to have to go to court, and it takes 4 to 6 months usually, depending on the type of probate, but it takes a while. And so then your heirs, your family, whatever, does not get your property for 4 to 6 months. So one is quicker, one does not require court. it doesn't require you to pay anything to distribute. However, on the other hand, you have a probate that you don't have to pay for a will up front necessarily, but then you have to pay to probate it. Takes a while. And also it's public. In Oklahoma, probates are public and they're available online. So now, anyone can see what was in your will or what was in your estate. So they each have their own benefits. And, depending on the type of planning we do for someone, we might recommend one over the other. We might, recommend something different. We really talk to our clients and see what are you really concerned about? What do you really want? And we don't just say, oh, you need a trust. We think everybody should have a trust. No, we really look at it and see what the least expensive, the way you can spend less money to accomplish your goals. And then, of course, we have our eye on long-term care and getting you help as a senior. And so we factor that into our plan as well. So another thing to keep in mind with all this is someone will say, oh yeah, my mom has a trust. I'm the personal representative. And so I can, sign checks for her. And so we are pulling a lot of different terms and a lot of different roles all together into one statement there. A trustee is someone who manages the trust. A personal representative is someone who is managing the probate while it's in court. And your agent or your attorney, in fact, someone who has power of attorney, is someone that can help you while you are alive. So they all have different roles. And just being trustee doesn't necessarily mean that you have the power as power of attorney. And being PR definitely means being named as PR in a will for someone who has not died definitely means you do not have the power to help them now while they're alive. So that is a different role that you've been appointed to way down the line. So if you have questions about all of that, of course you can call me. And I always make time to answer questions for people. But those are the things that, that I guide people to think about. There's really 3 things. Think about your future plans, what sort of help you think you might need, how you want to pay for it, what benefits might be available, just sort of overall think about your plan, and then think about who you want to help you and how you want them to help. Power of attorney, super, super important, super important. And then finally, we can talk about, you should think about your stuff and where you want it to go if you pass away, how you want it to go, who you want to be in charge of it. And we can make recommendations. If you talk to us, we can make recommendations on the best way to accomplish your goals. So really that's, how we guide the conversations with people when they just say, what do we need to think about? Or what do mom and dad need to think about? Mom, I can tell she's got some issues. She's been diagnosed with this. And so how can we best take care of her? And what does she need to talk to you about to allow us to help her? That's the type of thing. So I wanted to bring up one other thing. When people come in and they're sort of early planning, I say, what you should do? You should get this fantastic book that Life Senior Services, a local Tulsa organization, puts out. That is called, I think this is going to show up backwards probably. Yeah, it does. But anyway, it is called The Vintage Guide. And it is a fantastic resource with information about all sorts of different services for seniors in the northeastern Oklahoma area. And I tell people, hit these, it's backwards, but hit these pink pages in the middle because this is the nursing facilities. And if this is a possibility in, say, a year, ish, then pull the names of some places that are in areas you like and start there and do a little legwork and look them up online, drive by them and see if you like the area, see if you like the building, and then you can always call them and see what they are doing for potential new residents. I know everything is locked down during COVID. It seems like some things are sort of lightly opening up with some really smart restrictions. And so you might just call some of the places that you're interested in and see what they're doing for people. Some of them are allowing new residents in. Previously, everything was locked down and it's gotten a little looser. So you might call and see. Also, they have pretty good protocols for how to get in. There's a quarantine required and, physical and various things like that. So just find some places that you seem comfortable with, you might be interested in, and then talk to them and see, what their availability is, how they're bringing people in, if they are, those types of things. Because many of our nursing facilities in Tulsa are very nice and they provide really good care and people are quite happy there. So obviously I'm not speaking about every single place, but you kind of just have to find the place that you or your person is comfortable with and go from there. So those are my recommendations, what you should think about. Like I said, if you have questions, you can always call me. Our phone number is 918-901-7777. And give us a call if you have questions about anything I've talked about on here, or how you transition to long-term care, how you pay for it, Medicaid. That's what we are really trained in, getting Medicaid for people and managing the process. So thank you. Thank you for joining me.